Hey guys, those are Big Communications, back again with another Tales from the Darkside Season 1 episode review. This time of episode 21, Bigelow's Last Smoke. And this is one of my all-time favorite episodes of the entire series. I love this episode. I think it's really clever. I think it's very smart. And it's kind of like, remember that Quitters Inc. Tale from Cat's Eye, Stephen King's Cat's Eye with James Woods? Well, this is kind of a precursor to that a little bit, or I think Cat's Eye actually came out. I think Cat's Eye came. I'm just checking to make sure exactly when Cat's Eye came out. Came out in '85, so pretty much this episode came out at the same time. Bigelow's Last Smoke, I think, was. You also had, of course, Cat's Eye was based on a Stephen King story. The segment Quitters Inc. was based on a Stephen King story called Quitters Inc. So Stephen King probably came up with it first, but it's definitely handled a lot differently here. Both segments deal with, learning how, finding a way for smokers to find a way to quit. And this one is definitely a little bit more tongue-in-cheek, or, not, I wouldn't necessarily tell you, maybe tongue-in-cheek isn't the best word, but this episode is definitely a little more humorous than Quitters Inc. is. And I just really enjoy this episode because it's not necessarily scary. It's more for example, more Twilight Zone or Outer Limits than actual, horror episode. But I really like it because I just think it's really well written and really well acted. Richard Romanus plays the lead, Frank Bigelow. Sam Anderson plays the doctor who's trying to help him, get over his addiction. Howard Dayton plays this guy named Matthews, you don't even see his face, you just hear his voice behind a wall. Catherine Battistone plays the talk show hostess. She doesn't really do much either. The episode is directed by Timina Ranon, and it's written by Kenneth Wayne Hannis and Michael McDowell. And what happens is, really clever episode. It opens up with Richard Romanus waking up, and his alarm wakes him up, and he looks for his pack of smokes, and he can't find it. And then he turns on the TV, and while he doesn't really turn it. He turns on the TV, it's not working. But when he's looking away, this image of this doctor will show up and just look at him, and then it'll go away. And ultimately, this doctor finally starts talking to him and saying, you just check the drawer again, and he finds the smokes again and tries to smoke, and then he realizes the doctor's telling him this, you signed something. It's like, I don't remember signing anything. I was like, but you did. You wanted to quit smoking. It's like, oh yeah, but that was months ago. We have a very long waiting list, Mr. Bigelow. And you find out if it's, well, I was worried about, maybe dying because, my dad died of cancer, and I thought, that's not the exact lines of dialogue, what I'm talking about right now, but as the episode goes along, basically what it is he realizes that he's not even in his own apartment or even in his own home. He tries to open the windows, and there's bars there, and he breaks a hole through the wall and realizes there's a bunch of just fence, metal fencing wire. So he realizes that he's trapped. He's trapped in this, basically a fake representation of his own home to help him get over his addiction to smoking. And anytime he tries to, smoke, there's a smoke detector in the room that'll activate, and it will, activate this punishment, smoking demerit 1, put out the cigarette, the automated voice, and the punishment will cease, and it just starts, emitting this really light, disorientating bright light and noises, and as the episode goes along, as he's just still struggling with this, and he tries to get a smoke and tries to sneak some smokes in, but the smoke detector still detects it. He tries to find a way. He thinks he could just break the smoke detector and he'd still be able to get a smoke in, but then a new smoke detector appears in its place, and tries to make a deal with this guy behind the wall to trade him. He needs some matches, but the guy's like, give me all your cigarettes, you can have one, but give me the rest, I'll give you the matches. and he trades with the guy, but then that's another smoking demerit, and then every once in a while the doctor guy will show up to see how his progress is doing. And then I like the twist at the end where he'd wake up and then he'd just think, oh, it's just a dream. And then he'd go to get his cup of coffee. And then the guy would show up again on the TV screen, and then you'd have the merit thing start up again. He'd be like, why? It's like, oh, Mr. Bigalow, we need to work on your addiction to caffeine. That's a good start. Now that is a good start. Because he like freaks out and drops his coffee cup. So that's a very brief synopsis of the episode. There's a little. It doesn't sound like much, but it's really well written, really well set up. And if you're a fan of like Amazing Stories or Twilight Zone or Outer Limits, I think you'll really enjoy this episode. Now, Richard Romanus, I really liked in this, and it's definitely one of my favorite episodes in the first season, and definitely I'd probably put it up there, one of my favorite episodes of the entire series. So yeah, I really don't know what to say about Bigelow's Last Smoke, except that really clever, really witty, really well done, entertaining episode. And like I said, I don't really rate the episodes, so yeah, just really well done episode. Definitely one of my favorites. Anyway, thanks for watching my review of Bigelow's Last Smoke, and I will see you guys later. See ya.